Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to Wrestling Crossroads. I am one half of your host, Twisted, being joined by our lovely Panda today, as Pyro is unfortunately not able to be with us.
Hey guys, I'm glad to be here again.
So today we have our first back-to-back pay-per-view weekend. We'll have a 3-week break before you can check us out again with yet another pay-per-view, the Forbidden Door event, featuring AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Okay, let's not focus too much on the future or the past. When we have a pay-per-view on tonight, and that pay-per-view is none other than WWE's Hell in a Cell.
You'd think that a pay-per-view named after a match concept, they'd have more than just one, but what do we know?
Well, speaking of Hell in a Cell matches, first up on our list is what we hope to be the end in a 2-0 rivalry between Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. So, Twisted, for those missing the weekly programming, why don't you take us on a quick recap on the rivalry here?
All right. Well, going back 2 months right before WrestleMania, where Seth Rollins wanted his quote-unquote deserved WrestleMania moment, Mr. McMahon called him into his office and said that he will face an opponent of McMahon's choosing at Mania. Well, McMahon chose none other than the returning Cody Rhodes after a loss where Seth claimed that Cody had an unfair advantage because Cody knew who he was going to be facing and Seth didn't. Typical Seth Rollins. Brings us to the second match in this rivalry where we thought would end at WrestleMania Backlash.
But it didn't.
And you're right, it didn't. Of course, Cody picks up the win, and here we are.
Thank you for taking us through all that. Now, I think it's safe to say that Cody is definitely the favorite choice in this one.
I think he is. I know all of us did choose him. Unfortunately, there was a little bit of mishap this past Monday night where it seems that Cody was injured even going and working out for this match. So there is a possibility that he may not be here. But I mean, I've been very invested in this rivalry aside from it all. But Seth, you're 2-0. When are you just going to give up already, man?
I think we could also say the same thing for Seth Rollins' wife, Miss Becky Lynch. You know, Becky has had her time in the spotlight holding the Raw Women's Championship for over 2 years in all technicality. Next on our list, we have Bianca Belair putting her Raw Women's title on the line against Becky Lynch and Asuka. So from the looks from it all of us chose to go Bianca while Flash picked Asuka. Any reasoning behind why he went against us?
So he feels that WWE took away the title from Asuka in a bogus way, when they had their rivalry with Bayley and Sasha Banks back when, and just waited for the return of their big star Becky Lynch to pretty much just put the title back on her.
All right, our next match is Kevin Owens taking on Ezekiel.
Well, it looks like this one is straight down the middle, with me, Pyro, and Desario picking Kevin Owens to win, and you, MKE, and Flash all picking Elias. I'm sorry, Ezekiel.
Okay, no name calling now.
I mean, I gotta go with Kevin Owens. He seems like a liar. It's just Elias with his beard shaved, and there were so many conspiracy theories that maybe he named his previous character after his brother that passed away. I don't know. I've stopped following this mostly.
All right, our next match is another rivalry that's been going on since WrestleMania. Bobby Lashley versus Omos and MVP in a handicap match. There's honestly nothing I really want to touch base on this match. Twisted?
I don't really have much to say either when it comes to this match. I know we're down the middle 50-50 yet again. With me, Flash, and MKE choosing Bobby to be victorious, whereas you, Desario, and Pyro chose Omos and MVP to pick up the win. Care to share why?
Well, with our picks, we probably thought because he has advantage with MVP at his corner, so MVP could get involved with the match.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I guess we'll have to see which behemoth wins that. Jumping into our next match, I know, Panda, this is a very special, not only pay-per-view for you, but a very special match. Care to tell us why?
Yeah, well, as you know, last year in 2021, we unfortunately lost my dad due to brain cancer, which surprisingly came unannounced. And this just so happened to be his favorite pay-per-view. So it means a lot to be able to not only call a pay-per-view he loved, but also a match with superstars he loved while he was with us.
Thank you for sharing that with us, Panda. I know that must be hard to talk about, but why don't we jump right into the match?
So the next match we have on the card is a 6-man mixed tag team match where the newly formed club,
consisting of Finn Balor, the phenomenal AJ Styles, and Liv Morgan,
going against Judgment Day, consisting of the rated R Hall of Famer Edge, Damian Priest, and the Nightmare Rhea Ripley. Now, I know Edge took on AJ Styles at WrestleMania, where he lost because of a distraction caused by Damian Priest, and it's because of that we had a rematch at WrestleMania Backlash, where this time Rhea Ripley pulled AJ's leg while he was on the top rope, causing him to once again lose to Edge. Anything I'm missing, Twisted?
No, I think you took us through a really good amount of the rivalry, helping everybody catch up and everything. Since this is your match, why don't you do the honors and take us through the predictions?
All right. Well, Flash, Pyro, Desario, and I all chose the Judgment Day along with my dad because he loved Rhea Ripley and Edge a ton before he passed. But you and my cousin went against everyone and chose the club. Care to explain?
So we all know that your cousin is entirely gaga for Liv Morgan.
Oh, that's all he talks about. And when he sees her on TV, he just stops what he's doing and looks.
Yeah, which is a surprise with his video games.
Exactly.
And I know he was very excited to see her live when we went for SmackDown. So that's his reasoning, whereas I went with something completely different, as we all know since I'm more into this than he is. That AJ picks up the win and Orphan Balor pinning Damien, or maybe Liv pinning Rhea, because say Edge gets taken out. This is his way of bringing a fourth member in and saying, if I'm taken out, I need to know that my crew doesn't lose. So, I mean, this could bring another member in.
I see you have some pretty good reasonings behind your pick.
All right, let's jump into the next match. Austin Theory, now just known as Theory, is putting his United States title on the line against Mustafa Ali.
You know, I think this is the first time in months that I've seen a mid card title defend on the main show, let alone a pay per view. I may not like Theory, but if he's the reason we're going to see our titles all because he's Vince Ponyboy, I'm kind of okay with it.
I mean, that's kind of what it seems like. However, you did vote against Theory winning this along with Pyro and MKE, whereas Flash, Desario, and myself know the inevitable and know that somebody's either going to interfere or Theory's going to pull some good heel shit and win this.
All right. The last match on our list is Happy Corbin going against a newly repackaged Madcap Moss in a no holds barred match. So it looks like you, MKE, Flash, and myself all choose Madcap to keep his winning streak against Corbin, whereas Desario went against the grain and chose Happy Corbin to win.
I don't necessarily understand the reasoning behind Desario going with Happy Corbin. Could be because he just likes his heel work, but I'm really interested to know how this repackaged Madcap Moss does tonight. You know, I mean, we've seen people come back from repackaging and it doesn't do much, but I'm hoping that this does a lot for him because he does have star potential. Could you agree? All right. All right, guys, that does wrap up the prediction portion of everything. Don't forget to listen in later tonight and or tomorrow for the recap and the aftermath of the matches. As always, we love you all, and we will see you next time.
It was good to be here and listen to WrestleMania Crossroads.